This is the story behind one of the most disturbing disappearances ever caught on camera. A case that still has no answers, no verified trace of the person, and no clear explanation of what truly happened. This is the story of Lars Mittank. Okay, guys, if this is your first time of coming across my channel, you are highly welcome. Please like, subscribe, and do not forget to turn on your notification so that you don't miss any of my upcoming stories. Lars Mittank was a 28-year-old man from Germany. In the summer of 2014, he traveled to Bulgaria with a group of his male friends. It was meant to be a simple guy's vacation, drinks, sports bar, and a short break from everyday life. By all accounts, the trip started out completely normal. The group stayed near the seaside resort of Golden Sands, a popular tourist area. For several days, everything seemed fine. They went out together, spent time at the beach, and enjoyed themselves. But everything changed on the last night of the trip. That night, Lars and his friends went out to watch a sports game at a local bar. At some point during the evening, an argument broke out between Lars and a group of local men. No one knows what caused the disagreement, but it quickly escalated and turned to violence. Lars was hit during the fight. His friends rushed him to a hospital nearby, where doctors examined him and discovered that his eardrum had been damaged. The injury was serious enough that the doctors warned him not to fly for at least a few days because the pressure change could cause permanent damage. So he was given antibiotics, pain medication, and told to rest. Now, the problem was that their flight back to Germany was scheduled for the very next day. This left Lars' friends in a difficult situation. They had to decide whether to leave as planned or stay behind to make sure he was safe. So they offered to stay behind with him in Bulgaria until he was cleared to fly. But Lars insisted they should go home without him. After a lot of discussion and believing he would be fine for just a couple of days alone, his friends eventually agreed to fly back Germany. Before heading to the airport, the group stopped at MC Donald, close to the hospital. All of them went inside except Lars. When they came out with their food, Lars was gone. At first, they thought he had only stepped away to get some fresh air. They were not worried and believed he would come back soon. But minutes passed and he didn't return. Hours later, nearly 5 hours after disappearing, Lars suddenly showed back at the hospital. What he told them was very strange. He said that after being left outside the restaurant, he got into another confrontation. According to Lars, the same men from the bar had returned, and this time they were not alone. He claimed other men had been brought in to attack him. His friends were confused. None of this lined up with what they had seen earlier, and no one else reported another fight. So his friends didn't believe his story. The next morning, his friends flew back to Germany, leaving Lars behind in Bulgaria. That was the last time they ever saw him. After his friends left the country, Lars' behavior began to change even more. He checked himself out of the hospital and moved into a different hotel closer to the airport. One of the staffs later said he appeared nervous, distracted, and restless. Around midnight, Lars called his mother in Germany. The call terrified her mother. He sounded panicked and told her to cancel all of his debit and credit cards immediately. When she asked why, he refused to explain. All she could hear in his voice was fear. Later that night, hotel security cameras recorded Lars pacing the hallways. He repeatedly looked around corners, ducked inside the elevator, and appeared to be hiding from something or someone. Around 1 a.m., he sent another message to his mother, this time saying he was worried about the medication he had been given at the hospital. He questioned what was actually inside the antibiotics. Soon after, he called again. He claimed that a group of men had been following him all day and they wanted his medication. So he told his mother he needed to leave Bulgaria immediately and return to Germany. His mother was deeply worried and agreed to buy him a plane ticket, but only on one condition. She insisted he arrive at the airport early and go straight to the airport medical center to have air checked before flying. Lars agreed. The next morning, airport security cameras captured Lars entering Varna Airport. He was wearing shorts and a yellow shirt, carrying a backpack and a duffel bag. This footage would later become some of the most haunting video evidence in missing person history. Lars walked calmly into the airport and headed toward the medical center, just as he had promised his mother. But as soon as he entered inside, something went terribly wrong. A construction worker who was doing some work at the airport entered the medical area. The moment Lars saw him, his behavior changed instantly. He jumped off and started screaming, "I don't want to die." Then he ran out of the airport. Lars ran quickly out of the medical center, ran through the airport parking lot, and toward the tall fence at the edge of the property. Security cameras caught him climbing over the fence. On the other side was a wooded area. He ran straight into it and vanished. No one has ever seen him again till today. Search teams were deployed almost immediately. The roads were searched, nearby towns were checked, dogs were brought in, helicopters scanned the whole area, and they found nothing. It was as if Lars had disappeared into the air. What makes this case especially difficult is the lack of solid evidence. Much of the reporting came from different countries, and many early articles were written in German. As the case gained international attention, misinformation began spreading online. But what is clear is this: before the trip, Lars had no history of mental illness, no criminal record, and no habit of running away. Everything that happened unfolded within less than 48 hours. To this day, no one knows what Lars experienced during his final hours in Bulgaria. All that remains are unanswered questions, disturbing footage, and a disappearance that still has no explanation. Some believe something went wrong medically, others think his injury played a large role, and some wonder if what he feared was very real. But without evidence, there are no confirmed answers. Lars Mittank remains missing, and the story continues to haunt everyone who watches that final moment when he ran into the woods and was never seen again. This case still gives me chill because no matter how many times you watch the footage, it's never get easier to understand. Let me know in the comment section what part of the story stand out to you the most, and I will see you in the next video.